The age of exploration. A time when the world was ripe with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. A time when the unknown was not feared but embraced as the tantalizing promise of discovery. A time when the horizon was not an end but a beginning. This was an era that forever changed our understanding of the world and our place in it. The age of exploration began in the 15th century, driven by technological advancements, economic ambitions, and a thirst for knowledge. Europe was the epicenter of this movement, with Portugal and Spain leading the charge. In the heart of this transformative era was Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer sailing under the Spanish flag. Columbus was not the first to set out on a voyage of discovery, nor would he be the last, but his journey marked a turning point in human history. In the year 1492, Columbus set sail with 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Niña. His goal was to find a new route to Asia, a land of spices, silks, and untold riches. Instead, he stumbled upon a whole new world, the Americas. This was a world unknown to Europeans, a world teeming with diverse cultures, vast landscapes, and untapped resources. Columbus's discovery was monumental. It broke down the barriers of the known world and opened up an era of exploration. Adventurous souls from across Europe were inspired to embark on their own voyages of discovery, forever changing the course of history. But Columbus's voyages were not without controversy. His encounters with the indigenous peoples of the Americas were often marked by violence and exploitation, casting a dark shadow over his legacy. Yet, there's no denying the profound impact of his journeys. Columbus's voyages opened an era of exploration, leading to the discovery of new lands, new peoples, and a whole new world of possibilities. This was the dawn of the age of exploration, a pivotal chapter in our shared human story. Inspired by Columbus's achievements, other intrepid explorers set out on their own quests, determined to leave their mark in history. One such adventurer was Ferdinand Magellan. Born into a noble Portuguese family in the late 15th century, Magellan developed a burning desire to explore the world, a desire that would lead him on a daring voyage of discovery. In the year 1519, Magellan set sail with a fleet of 5 ships, embarking on what would become one of history's most significant journeys. His ambitious goal? To find a western sea route to the Spice Islands, also known as the Maluku Islands, a place where deliciously fragrant spices like cloves, nutmeg and mace were in abundance. Magellan's expedition was fraught with danger and uncertainty. He and his crew battled treacherous seas, endured debilitating diseases, and navigated through uncharted territories. Yet despite these hardships, they pressed on, driven by their insatiable curiosity and the promise of discovery. As they sailed through what is now known as the Strait of Magellan, a narrow waterway at the southern tip of South America, they emerged into a vast, seemingly endless ocean. Magellan named it the Pacific due to its calm and peaceful nature, a stark contrast to the tumultuous Atlantic they had left behind. After more than a year of sailing, Magellan's fleet finally reached the Spice Islands. However, the joy of discovery was bittersweet. Magellan himself did not live to see the end of his journey, having tragically lost his life in a conflict with indigenous people in the Philippines. Despite the loss of their leader, the remaining crew members, under the command of Juan Sebastian Elcano, managed to complete the expedition, making it the first to successfully circumnavigate the globe. Magellan's voyage not only solidified our understanding of the world's geography, but also paved the way for global trade networks that would shape the future of commerce and cultural exchange. His journey remains a testament to the power of human curiosity, the courage to explore the unknown, and the enduring quest for knowledge that continues to drive us forward. Voyages like these brought treasures from distant lands, such as silks, spices, and gems, sparking an intense desire among nations to control these valuable resources. The age of exploration was not merely a quest for knowledge, but it was a race for wealth and power. As explorers discovered new lands abundant with exotic goods, the economic potential of these territories became evident. This led to fierce competition among European powers to establish colonies and dominate trade routes. The age of exploration marked the birth of global trade networks. The Portuguese, for instance, established a sea route to India, introducing Europe to the rich flavors of Indian spices. The Spanish, on the other hand, brought back precious metals from the Americas, fueling an economic boom in Europe. However, the impact of these voyages was not limited to the establishment of trade networks. It also led to the rise of colonial empires. Nations vying for control over valuable resources led to the colonization of vast territories. Cultural, political and social structures of indigenous societies were transformed, often leading to conflict and resistance. Yet it also led to an unprecedented exchange of ideas, cultures and goods. The Age of Exploration was a catalyst for cultural exchange, a phenomenon that dramatically reshaped societies across the globe. As explorers ventured into unknown territories, they encountered diverse cultures, leading to a mingling of traditions, beliefs and knowledge. Foods, art, music and even languages crossed oceans and borders, creating a global melting pot. Imagine a world without pasta, without coffee or without chocolate. These are but a few of the myriad of things we owe to the Age of Exploration. The world became richer, not just economically, but culturally. Our modern-day lives are deeply influenced by this era of discovery, as the foods we eat, the music we listen to, and the traditions we follow often have roots in distant lands. Through these encounters, the world became a melting pot, as diverse societies intermingled, sharing knowledge, traditions, and beliefs that forever transformed our global heritage. Imagine for a moment a world without potatoes, tomatoes, or even chocolate. These are just a few of the countless contributions made by the Age of Exploration to our modern-day lives. The voyages weren't solely about establishing trade routes or conquering new lands. With each wave that lapped against the explorers' ships came a ripple effect of cultural exchange that would forever shape the course of human history. Consider our palates, for instance. The Age of Exploration heralded a global culinary revolution. Explorers returning from the Americas brought back a cornucopia of new foods: potatoes, tomatoes, maize, beans, and yes, even the beloved cocoa bean, the key ingredient in chocolate. These foods, once alien to the old world, are now staples in our diets, transcending cultural and geographical boundaries. But the exchange wasn't one-sided. The explorers, too, introduced foods from their homelands to the New World. Wheat, cattle and citrus fruits are just a few examples of Old World contributions that have had a lasting impact on the Americas. Beyond our dinner plates, the Age of Exploration also shaped our artistic and musical landscapes. European explorers carried with them their own artistic traditions, which merged with indigenous art forms, giving birth to a plethora of hybrid styles. These diverse influences can be seen in everything from architecture to painting, from sculpture to music. The collision of cultures during the Age of Exploration also resulted in a rich tapestry of musical influences. African rhythms, European harmonies and indigenous melodies blended together, creating entirely new genres of music. From Latin music's infectious beats to jazz's improvisational spirit, the Age of Exploration's legacy lives on in our melodies. So the next time you bite into a juicy tomato, sway to the rhythm of a salsa beat, or marvel at a Baroque painting, remember the daring voyages of the Age of Exploration. Our taste buds, artistic expressions, and even our musical genres have been enriched through this incredible era of discovery. Today, the impact of the Age of Exploration can be seen all around us. It's in the bustling metropolis we call home, the myriad of languages we speak, and even the food we find on our plates. The Age of Exploration didn't just map the globe, it wove the very fabric of our modern world. Think about our cities. We wander through bustling streets, marvel at towering skyscrapers, and get lost in vibrant cultural districts. These urban landscapes are the melting pots of the world, where diverse cultures, traditions, and ideas coexist. This is a legacy of the explorers who ventured into the unknown, making connections between distant lands and cultures and setting the stage for the multicultural societies we live in today. Consider our economies. They're no longer local or even national, they're global. We sip coffee from Brazil, wear clothes made in Bangladesh, drive cars from Germany, and use technology developed in Silicon Valley. This interconnectedness, this global exchange of goods and ideas, is a direct result of the age of exploration. The explorers might have sought gold and spices, but they ended up creating the blueprint for our modern global economy. And let's not forget our communities. We live in a world where we can enjoy sushi in London, watch a Bollywood movie in New York, or celebrate the Chinese New Year in Sydney. Our societies are enriched with diverse cultures, traditions, and languages, the roots of which can be traced back to the explorers who first bridged these worlds together. The age of exploration was a remarkable period that revolutionized our understanding of the world and our place in it. Its legacy is not just in the history books, but in the world we experience every day. The explorers of yesteryears charted the course for our present. Their bravery and unwavering curiosity have shaped the world we live in today.